these things get picked by the miners to put in the blocks based on how much you pay them. And so there's always people that have more resources than others. Those people are able to pay more to have their, and the blockchain is the same. It's actually even less equal on the blockchain than in the real world, turns out. But so the people that have more money can outbid you to do the transactions faster. And this starts to become a problem in many places. But one of the main ones is that then there kind of starts to be, well, like it's like gentrification, right? So the people that have more money, that maybe engage in more speculative or capitalistic activities, can monopolize the real estate of the blockchain. We all know about gentrification, but it's just a bit of a shock to see it in these kind of emergent economic systems. And I guess it's just because you have a bounded resource and we don't have the same kinds of transparencies and self-disclosures in the crypto space as we do in the stock market. Indeed, when we were founding the journal at MIT, we were trying to work out how to do a disclosure policy. We didn't actually figure out how to do it. That wouldn't make everyone really angry. So we didn't do it. It was very difficult. And let's talk about another kind of hot topic, which is decolonisation. And so we all know about, in the world of art and culture, there are a lot of artifacts of historical cultural significance, which happen to be housed in locations different to the ones where those things came from. But what's interesting is we might then be able to engage in a kind of a spot of metaphysical redress, metaphysical justice here. And so this project is called Ballot. And the idea was that this is a digital representation, a tokenized representation of an artifact which is not where it belongs. And so the idea is to use this as a mechanism of restitution, also potentially a mechanism of fundraising to, enact these kinds of, decolonial goals, land back, artifact back, culture back, and so on. So I think that's a very interesting possible future that may be mapped out for us. And what we see here is, like in my read of it, is blockchain is kind of like a tabula rasa. It's this kind of like sufficiently advanced technology that has just kind of appeared. It might not be the perfect form. It might just be an iteration on the way to something better. We still don't really know how to use it. We're just trying everything. And my picture when I think of what we do with blockchain, where we are, is the apes in Stanley Kubrick's interpretation of Arthur C. Clarke's 2001: A Space Odyssey, where there's the monolith, the advanced technology, and there's the apes, and they don't really know how to interact with this thing. And so I think we may even still be there. So like some humility is definitely required. People say rising tide lifts all boats. That's one of the favorite sayings of kind of people that, want to get you to invest in something. And when the tide's rising, like everyone thinks they're a genius. Like, don't get me wrong. Like when you buy a thing and it goes up, you're like, I'm Warren Buffett, I'm a genius. But then when it's all going down, like it's different. And people realize they can't all get rich together. Like that's not how it works. These are scarcity economies. We're still in a framework of scarcity here. And that's actually one of my main critique of crypto writ large is a failure of imagination. Like we could be imagining post-capitalist futures, as I alluded to in some of the art projects. We could be imagining post-scarcity futures, and we're not. We could be living in Star Trek, but we're living in Star Wars. And I feel like we're missing an opportunity there. And so, I'll tell you a little bit about the 0x Salon now, which is this kind of loose collective community endeavor that we started here in Berlin a couple of years ago, the early days of the pandemic. And essentially, like at the heart of it is an event series where we get together people from different disciplines, different areas of intellectual persuasion, and we talk about nuanced topics, usually around kind of paradoxes in digital culture or things like that.